What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm here today with a prophetic message from the Lord. And so the title of today's video, well, you guys actually don't have a title for the video, but I want to start off with talking about a dream that I had on April 20th, going into the 21st, like early morning. And so in this dream, I was at the store called Dillard's, right? And so I was shopping, and I ended up bumping into this guy that I had went to middle school with and high school with. His name was Greg, short for Gregory. And so he and I, we chatted and caught up inside of Dillard's, and then out of nowhere he just randomly asked me, like, did I want to go on a date? And I was like now? And he was like, yeah, like now. And he was like, do you want to go to Pickle Bill's? And so I was like, okay, like I was kind of like hesitant, but I just went with the flow and just said yeah, right? And so when I arrived he drove his car and I drove my car, by the way. And so when I arrived there, he wasn't there, but it was a bench outside of the restaurant door, and then I seen a phone that was inside of the socket that was outside, like right next to the bench. It was a phone there. Trucking, so I figured that he had, been there and had left. And so he ended up pulling up before I could call him. He ended up pulling up, and he said, I ran to the store because you weren't here yet. And so he ended up saying that it was a wait. And so we sat outside and waited on the bench until they called us back to our table. And so they ended up calling us back to our table. And so I just ordered fish, right? And so it was a seafood place too, by the way. And so I ordered fish, and he ordered like one of those boiler bags, that will have like the shrimp and crab legs in there and all those different type of things. And so when our food came out, he kept offering me things that I didn't eat, right? Things that I didn't want. And so he was like, do you want to try a shrimp? And I was like, oh, no, thank you. I don't eat those. And so then he was like, well, do you want to try a crab leg? And I was like, no, thank you. I don't eat that. Like, he kept offering me all these different things out of this boiler bag. And I kept saying no, like I was fine with the fish that I had. But he kept insisting that I tried that boiler bag, the things that was in that boiler bag. And so I kept saying, no or whatever. And so we ended up leaving the restaurant, and he got into his black Challenger. It was like a black on black Challenger, and he left, and then I left, and he didn't ask me on another date, you guys. That was just the end of that, and I woke up. And so I wanted to break this dream down for you guys because this dream symbolized like you being vigilant of what's going on around you, even like spiritual vigilance, right? And so like the enemy will try to offer you things that seem to be one way. Like, he offered me to go out on a date, and I'm thinking like, oh, okay, like maybe this something, something good, I'm gonna go with the flow. But then he ended up offering me all these things after that I did not want, right? That I knew that I could not have. I knew that it wasn't good for me, and I knew that I was only supposed to eat this fish, right? I wasn't supposed to eat those shrimps, right? And it's like based off that was my neighbor. So based off me going off in the Bible, where I was only going to eat this fish, I wasn't going to eat that shrimp and all those other things. And so that was me being vigilant of what was going on. It kept me from making a mistake, right? It kept me from accepting something that I shouldn't have accepted from the enemy. Like, it was a sneak attack on the enemy, right? He was trying to offer me all these things as if, oh, like it was just, oh, it's not nothing. You should try this. Try this shrimp. Oh, try this crab leg. Like, just try this. And I'll keep telling him, like, no. Like, you see me keep saying no, right? Why do you keep offering me these things, right? I don't want it. I don't want it. No. And so I feel like the enemy will try to he will try to offer you things that you know that you cannot have, right? And so you guys have to be vigilant and know when to say no. Like, no, thank you. No, I don't want it. Like, and I don't want that from you, right? And so, hey, how you doing? And so, when I went to break down pickle, right? Because we went to eat at Pickle Bill's. Pickle meant purification, meant cleansing, it meant preservation, it meant longevity, it meant like a rebirth and renewal. It also meant humility and gratitude, right? And so then I broke down Bill, right? And so Bill meant helmet protector, resolute protector, right? And so the next thing I wanted to break down was Greg, because remember the guy name was Greg who asked me out on that date. And so Greg meant to be vigilant. It meant to be watchful, right? It meant spiritual vigilance, and it meant to being vigilant against the enemy's attack. And so that's what he was trying to do to me. The enemy was trying to attack me, right? And he tried to use someone that I had maybe once knew to sneak this attack in on me, right? And I wasn't going for it. I wasn't having it. I was just like, no, right? And so then Dillard meant from the Lord. So like the Lord was sending this message to you guys to be vigilant, right? To be vigilant of against these attacks from the enemy. And so the next thing that I was led to look up, it was Challenger. Let me see, where did I write that at? My notes are always all over the place, but was Challenger, right? And so I was led to scripture. Let me see, where is it at? Oh, I was led to scripture, which was Mark 11, verse 18 through 19. And it says, when the leading priests and teachers of religious law heard what Jesus had done, right? To clear the marketplace out of the temple. They began planning how to kill him, but they were afraid of him because the people were so amazed at his teachings, right? And so that evening, Jesus and his disciples left that city. And so what God is saying is for you to be vigilant, right? Just how Jesus knew that they were like planning this sneak attack on him because of all these great things he was doing, but they feared him still, right? They knew that Jesus was powerful, so they feared him. But these are the same people who didn't like his teaching. They were planning an attack on him, and Jesus ended up leaving that city, him and his disciples, right? They ended up getting out of there. So it was, my whole thing was like at the end of my dream, remember how he didn't ask me on another date, right? We just got out of there. Like I left and got away from him. He didn't ask me on another date, and that was that. And so you guys, it's okay to say no. You have to be vigilant, right? Because these attacks gonna be or like sneak attacks from the enemy. So be very vigilant, right? And know when to say no, right? These attacks can come in your dreams. These attacks can come, in the physical world. Just be vigilant and know when to say no, right? Because it's going to be a sneak attack, and know when to leave, right? Know when to avoid those situations. Like it was no need for us to go on another date after you had kept offering me all these things that I knew that I didn't want. So good that you didn't ask me, so I didn't have to say no. You just knew, like he just automatically knew that it was going to be a no. And so that's the word that I have for you guys, is to be vigilant, to have spiritual vigilance, even in your dreams, in the physical. Just pay attention and know when to say no, know when to leave. Like how Jesus left in Mark 11, right? And know in those two verses I just read, him and his disciples, they just left that city, like, because the enemy is at fear. But the people love Jesus' teachings, right? So it just know when to leave, y'all. In other words, just know when to leave. And so that's the word that I have for you guys today. And until my next video, you guys, always stay focused and be blessed. And I'll catch you on my next one. Bye.